Hi, welcome back. We're at Chez Maggie's, right on the Indian Ocean, right on the beach in Morondava. It's a beautiful property, and we'd like to share a couple of experiences we've had over the past 2 days. Very rewarding and interesting. We're going to talk about the Baobab Avenue that we visited. We left at 3 in the morning, not my favorite time of day. But then we went to the Kirindy Forest for lemurs. And today we spent time on the river, learning about life on the river. So we'd like to talk about those 3 areas today. But let me share a couple of observations before we get started. First of all, we've noticed very few birds here, which is kind of strange. There's a lot of foliage and things, but maybe it's because it's so dry this side of the island. Now we're also on the ocean, but about a mile from the coast, it's all brown. And you wonder why the ocean is brown instead of blue. Well, apparently the river in the rainy season flows into the ocean and brings with it all the dirt and debris as well. So it's unusual to look out in the ocean and see about a mile of brown before you get to blue. Not my favorite. We've seen a lot of poverty here, which is very troubling. We left early in the morning before the sun rose to get to the Baobab Avenue. We saw a lot of people sleeping on the street, sleeping on the beach. Not a really good thing. It's just hard to watch that type of thing. And the roads here are really worse than any other place we've experienced in the world, including Ethiopia, and that says a lot. So anyway, let's get to the fun stuff. Let's talk a little bit about baobabs before we show you some of the videos. They are huge, smooth growth trees. They can have a circumference of 30 meters or up to 90 feet or in circumference. They take a long time to grow. They're very slow growing, and they only leaf out just a few days a year, and they do that to retain the water. This is a very, very dry area. One of these trees in this area has been dated to 1600 years old. It's called a grandmother's tree. This area that we're going to show you was once a dense forest, and now it's just sparsely populated by these trees. But now they're revered by the locals, and conservationists spend a lot of time protecting these trees. The leaves are used a lot for vitamin C and calcium, and the bark and seeds are used for medicine. So there's a lot of uses for it. But fortunately, these are protected. Please enjoy some of the videos we're going to show you about the Baobab Avenue. Then we're going to show you one special intertwined tree that Shelley will explain to you. So enjoy. We had an early morning wake-up call about 3 a.m. and arrived about 15 minutes before the sun began to rise. This is our first impression of the Baobab Alley just before the sun hit the horizon. Quite an experience. Unbelievably beautiful. Look at the heights of those trees. Pretty amazing.
Here's the single shot of one of the most beautiful sights we've ever seen with the sun coming up.
After our wonderful view of the sunrise and the beautiful baobabs, this is a recording from our vehicle as we're driving further up. The sun is up, beautiful morning, and we're enjoying the numerous baobabs along the way as we head towards the Kirindy Forest.
This next photo is a single photograph of one of the most iconic trees. It is the Baobab of the Lovers, or Baobab Avenue. Beautiful tree, and the legend says that there were 2 lovers that were destined not to be together because their families had already negotiated their spouses, their respective spouses, in 2 different villages. But as it turns out, the children that they had also became lovers, and it is said that they became the trees that will forever be joined. We hope you enjoy.
Welcome aboard our vehicle. This is one of the worst roads we've ever experienced. We thought the roads in Ethiopia were bad until we hit the road between the Baobab Alley and Kirindy Forest. You can see the mud holes. It had rained. We're going back and forth trying to avoid some of the mud. The windows were open, so the mud was coming in the windows. Quite an experience. 1.5 hours each way was a little bit more than we could tolerate, but somehow we made it back home after a very challenging ride. So enjoy.
Hi there, we want to introduce you to the Kirindy Forest. This is a video of me going into the vegetation area of the forest. We walked for 3.5 miles in 90-degree heat just to see some of the animals that live in the forest. Lemurs, iguanas, reptiles, mongoose, many different animals. And we even saw a small tortoise, which was kind of interesting. Hadn't expected that. Very hot. Actually, the dry season starts in March and goes to December, and the rainy season starts in December and goes to March. It is damn near closed completely during the rainy season. Totally impassable on the roads, and you certainly wouldn't want to walk through the forest with as much water that comes in there. We loved seeing the lemurs, though. We saw the sifaka. That's the Vero's sifaka, which is white with the black face and the black crown. We introduced you to one the other day as well, but this is where they live a lot in this forest. We also saw the Madame Bertha's small mouse lemur, which is so critically endangered it is almost extinct, which many of the lemurs are, unfortunately, because of deforestation. Lots of fires, unfortunately, have hit this forest, destroying a lot of the land around, the forest around here. But baobabs still live in the forest. A couple, I think, 3 different varieties. Beautiful place, and we just had a marvelous time. The unfortunate thing is we had to get there on bad roads and had to get back out on bad roads, which you saw previously. Enjoy. Section we're about to show you is the sifaka lemur. It is the crowned lemur, Vero's lemur. They're white with a black face and a black crown. They live high up in the trees. The first is a video showing a single animal way, way, way up in the tree. The second is a single photograph of the mom and baby, and you can't tell which one starts and which one ends, so it's kind of funny to look at. And the third one you'll see is the mom and baby together, and they are so beautiful. I hope you enjoy.
There are many.
The next photo is very special. This is the Madame Bertha lemur. It is a nocturnal, smallest primate on the planet, weighing only 30 grams. They have exceptional hearing, and you can see by the large eyes that they are a nocturnal animal. Very sad because it is extremely endangered. And this is just a photograph. We hope you enjoy. Well, here we are. We're going to see the mangroves, and we thought we were going in the boat that's just off to the right, but instead, here's the dugout canoe, and it's in the mud. So not easy to get in and out of. Our guide is in the yellow shirt, and he's going to show us how to get in and out, or in at least. Not fun, because you're in the mud.
You can be able to do that?
I don't think so. Well, We want to go. And here we are on the water. The gentleman is paddling, but this is tide related. So if the tide is low, you may not be able to use your paddle. If the tide is high, it's easy to get through.
This is one of the public boats that's heading up the channel. It's about a 200-kilometer ride. It'll take over a week. They're provisioned up and they're heading up as we speak. Pretty amazing life that they live here. These are the mangroves that line both sides of the channel. During the night, mostly women come out and do the crabbing. They'll pick up the crabs by hand, take them to the market, and sell them. It's a pretty interesting process.
Are there any
This is Botania Island, located just across the channel from Morondava. The people living here are mostly fishermen or crabbers. Apparently they have very good food. They get back and forth to the main city via water taxis. Sometimes it's a dugout canoe, sometimes it's a overfilled motorized boat, which we'll show you in the next video. They're pretty isolated. They have no electricity. In one case, we saw a solar panel coming across from Morondava. So it's a very beautiful place. You can see some of the people getting ready to board one of the boats. This is one of our favorite videos of life on the river. This is taken from the Morondava side. You'll see a boat coming in pretty soon, overfilled with people coming to Morondava to buy goods. Sometimes it's for housing, sometimes it's vegetables, fruit. They exchange their fish, sell their fish in the markets here. But you'll see the boat coming in just about now. People are on the beach waiting to load. Once this one unloads, you can see how overfilled they are. And when it does get emptied, you'll see the driver of the boat with a bucket bailing water. Doesn't look too safe, especially when you count all the people that are getting off of it and then reloading. You can see the water is not very deep. It's about thigh high. We have some actual experience ourselves with this water, which we'll share in just a moment. But you can see the number of people getting off this. Again, they're coming to shop. From the right of your screen, you'll see people coming back to the boat to reload. These people are fully loaded with produce, probably, maybe some fish. But this is life on the river, back and forth. You got more water coming out of the boat.
Well, this is where our true adventure begins. The tide had gone out. You can see in this photo just how far away the land was, and we were stuck. So we had to get out and walk the rest of the way. Not fun, very wet, very muddy.
Okay, we got out of the water. You can see Shelley walking, wet pants and all. We feel we're wet, we're hot, we're tired. Not a good morning for us, but our guide is going to set us up with a little pedicab, with a little guy biking us back to our hotel. Once again, enjoy the ride on our pedicab. Pretty soon Shelley will pass me on this particular vehicle. And he's waving Shelley and the guide ahead in her pedicab. And off we go. So enjoy the ride back to our hotel.
Here we go. Boy, he's pretty strong pedaling this body. Car. 4 cars. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Car.
hi there again, and we just wanted to say goodbye from Madagascar. This is going to be our last posting from Madagascar. We are going to be on our way to Zambia, where we will also be spending Christmas. Should be fun there. We hope you've enjoyed the last 2 weeks and some of our adventures and learning a little bit about the local flora and fauna. It has been fun, and as I said, we hope you enjoyed as much as we did. Thanks so much, and look forward to next time in Zambia.